Hello, I'm Gail Blackmore. Welcome to Visions. Our guest this evening is Karen Winter. Karen is a kinesiologist. Karen, how did you become involved in kinesiology?
Well, I first became involved because I actually had a lot of health problems myself. I was very ill through most of my 20s, and after a lot of medical treatment, thought there had to be some other way to get my health back into order. I had been medically diagnosed with myalgic encephalitis or chronic fatigue syndrome. Not many people are actually medically involved. After a couple of years of medical treatment, I was feeling a lot better than I had been, started taking the right nutritional supplementation, but still didn't really feel 100%. And it was actually through bumping into somebody who was doing allergy testing in a health food store one day that I found out what kinesiology was all about. And I thought, well, I'll put this man to the test. I knew all my allergies, my nutritional deficiencies, and a whole lot of other problems that I had. And within about 2 minutes of him testing me with kinesiology, he was able to tell me exactly what I already knew, which was pretty impressive. And then he explained to me that kinesiology works by working with muscles, putting the organs and those meridians in the body back into balance. Then the body is actually able to function much better, and therefore you have more energy. And I thought it sounded like just what I needed. And it was actually through a lot of convincing of talking to friends who had actually been to see this kinesiologist that I thought, well, I might as well give it a try myself.
In what way did it help you?
I was pretty impressed with it to begin with because, as I said, I didn't have a lot of energy, I had a lot of allergies, I was pretty lethargic a lot of the time, wasn't sleeping so well, also experiencing things like hypoglycemia, a lot of pain. The other really embarrassing problem I had was I had very severe acne on my face, which looked like big red volcanoes, which wasn't very impressive, that I had to cover up with makeup all the time. So I went along and had a session with him, and I was really surprised at my energy levels. But what surprised me probably the most was how my attitude and my outlook on life had changed just from the sessions that he'd done with me. So not only did I feel better and have more energy, he also sorted out a pretty major candida problem that I'd had for years and years and years. And in turn, a lot of my allergies disappeared after the treatment that I had with him. And I was just amazed at my energy levels and my ability to be able to concentrate better, be able to do what my friends were doing, have more energy. And I was very surprised. And at that time he started developing the kinesiology workshops that he was, that has now become Kinergetics Kinesiology. And he asked me if I was interested in coming along to do a workshop, and I just thought, out of my own interest, I wanted to know how kinesiology actually worked. So
can you tell us exactly how does it work? I've heard kinesiology, and I know that it works on, you've said, the muscles. And can you explain how it does work?
Well, kinesiology, the word kinesiology actually means the study of muscles and movement. But the holistic practice of kinesiology is more than that. We're working on balancing the body on a lot of levels. We're working on, it's working as with kinesiology or muscle monitoring as biofeedback to what's happening within the body. So we can find out where the imbalances are, whether they're in the meridians, the chakras, the energetic bodies, or the physical body, or the organs, the glands, the bones, the muscles, anywhere in the structure. So by balancing the body with kinesiology, we can clear the stresses and the imbalances, whether they're allergies, whether it's stress, whether it's pain, whether it's problems with heavy metals, candida, jaw problems, anything like that.
Well, you mentioned the chakras and the meridians. Do you actually work on those chakras and meridians?
Absolutely.
So your training, it's quite extensive then?
Well, we're working on the body as a whole. We're working physically, mentally, emotionally and spiritually on the body. So if there's structural problems or imbalances, such as jaw imbalances, we can actually balance the body structurally. If the imbalances happen to be within the meridians or within the organs, we work on balancing those. I'm also trained in the philosophy of Chinese medicine, so I understand how the energy flows.